This is One-on-One. Back by popular demand, Dr. George A. Pruitt, President, Thomas Edison State College. How you doing, Doctor?
I'm doing very well. It's good to be here. Good to see you again.
Don't be telling me you've been down there for 30 years.
30 years. Time flies when you're having fun.
Still the same passion?
Yes.
Tell folks who may not know what Thomas Edison State College is all about. What's the brand?
We're the only college in New Jersey created exclusively for adults. The average age of our student body is about 40, and you have to be 21 to be regularly admissible.
And the number of students?
21,000. We're the second largest college university in the state of New Jersey.
And the primary, the courses range. I mean, I was looking at the course catalog the other day. It's very eclectic. But are there certain courses or certain areas, specialties that you're noted for?
No, it's pretty comprehensive and broad, and we're very proud of that. One of the things that people are surprised to know is that we have our Carrie Edwards School of Nursing is the largest school of nursing in the state of New Jersey.
Named after the former Attorney General, our good friend, actually a board member of ours, Carrie Edwards.
Yes.
What's that connection?
Well, you know, it's kind of funny. You were asking about the history. And when I came into New Jersey on December the 1st, 1982, Governor Kane was governor, and Carrie Edwards was his general counsel.
That's right.
And the old Board of Higher Education had approved a nursing program for us, but it hadn't been funded. And so I'm just banging around the State House trying to figure out how we get this thing funded.
Some things never change.
That's true. I'm still banging around the State House trying to get things funded. Yeah. And I went to see Carrie, and I was explaining to him why this program was unique and important. It's a program for people who are practicing RNs who need to go on to get their baccalaureate degree. So it's a BSN program. And I began to explain to him why that was important. The nursing profession is moving to the baccalaureate degree as its entry-level credential. Yet our best and most experienced nurses in the States are all RNs, many of them trained in associate programs for community colleges, hospital-based programs, and we need to have that path for them. He immediately understood it, began to tell me about his wife, Lynn, who was a nurse.
That's right.
And he got it.
Wow.
And in Governor Kane's, in that budget, my first budget here, there was $240,000 added to fund the nursing program.
That's how it started.
And that's how it got started.
That's why it has that name.
That's why it's named after him, and it has grown to be the largest school of nursing in the state of New Jersey.
For those of you watching who do not remember the name Carrie Edwards, a great Attorney General, a great Chief Counsel to Governor Kane, and a great friend of this corporation, the Caucus Educational Corporation, who was on Caucus, New Jersey many times, our sister program, and we miss him a lot. Yeah. You brought me back, made me think of a lot of things. Let's do this. Talk about some of the interesting, we're going to be showing some photos. Some of the alums. Who is the founder of Curves?
Gary Haven.
Gary Haven. Give me the connection as we show the picture of Gary Haven and Thomas Edison.
Gary Haven's a graduate of Thomas Edison.
Looking right now at him.
He's a graduate of Thomas Edison, fairly generous contributor to the institution. Gary Haven was riding in a car with his mother when he was young, and his mother had a heart attack and died. And it changed him and affected him. And he spent years concerned and dedicated himself to women's health issues. And as he became older and a very experienced, accomplished entrepreneur, he developed Curves basically as a way to work on cardiovascular fitness for women. And he was a very successful entrepreneur. Curves has been a very successful enterprise. And he
come out of your place.
He came to Thomas Edison. He did his homework. He did his research. He wanted to finish college, and he knew he couldn't do that and stop his career and stop his business and his work. He was concerned about the quality of the experience he would get. And after doing his homework, he came to Thomas Edison. We did not know about him when he was enrolled until after he graduated.
Is that often the way it is, Doctor?
That is very often.
That people are doing what it is they are doing in their lives, but they are doing what they're doing at Thomas Edison to get the academic credentials they need. But because it's online, you're not interacting with them in that way, and then they go on to do great things. You're like, hey, she's ours.
Yeah, that happens all the time. Arthur Brooks, president of the Enterprise Institute, he's a graduate of ours. Ernie Gooden, who was the #2 guy at Hilton for many years and now runs the Los Angeles Convention and Visitors Bureau. He's a graduate of ours. There was a guy, and I'm blocking on his name, it'll come to me later. He was the first student ever to go through Thomas Edison simply through testing. He tested his way through the whole enterprise.
What do you mean?
He took, you can earn, if you can demonstrate that you have acquired college-level learning in a non-collegiate environment through your own study, through your work environment, through training, and you can demonstrate that you have acquired the learning that you would have acquired in a classroom environment, you can earn the credit for it
by taking tests?
By taking an examination and through some assessment. Myron Markowitz, I knew it would come.
Myron Markowitz.
There was a game called Mind Benders that he developed. Well, he's the creator of that game.
It's one of your guys.
He tested through the entire experience. He lectured, he was lectured on the faculty in some distinguished universities in Europe in physics. Brilliant man. So we have this huge diversity and quilt of students. The common thread is when you ask them, both the very successful people and the aspiring people, why you did this, why you came back at this point in your life. The common thread is it's unfinished business for them. And they will all tell you in some form it was just something they started, they wanted to finish.
You know, George, we talked to a lot of your colleagues, and you know that you've been with us on our panel discussions at Caucus, New Jersey. You're the only one from the unique vantage point who has an institution like yours. Some of them do some online things, but no one does it totally the way you do. With the changing landscape of higher ed, with the infrastructure bond, you know, the Bond Act. By the way, you guys have a piece of that equation? Real quick, what is it?
Well, most of it is to build a new nursing school.
It is?
It is to build a new facility for our nursing program. You know, you're in Trenton a lot, and you'll recall right on the corner of...
what are we looking at? Is that?
That's the new building. That's what the new building is going to be. Yes, sir. And it will replace a boarded up old apartment building, the Glencairn Arms, that has been abandoned for 25 years. And we're going to, so not only is there an important academic element of this, there's a great urban renewal, an
economic piece to this.
Absolutely. It's going to transform that part of our state capital. So we're very proud of that. One, it's a twofer. We get the benefit of the academic facility.
I'm just realizing now that I saw a piece on our sister program, NJ Today, announcing this. This is a big economic boon.
Yes, it is.
So here's the question. With this going on, with the changing landscape of higher ed, what do you see as the future of Thomas Edison State College?
No, I think it's a great future. It's exciting. That's why I've been here for 30 years. I mean,
it's not the same job, is it?
It's never been. I mean, this is probably my 4th presidency without leaving this institution, because this institution has continued to evolve and grow over the years. You know, back in the 80s, supported by Governor Kane's challenge grants, we came into the distance education field. Many of our students don't take online courses. You know, I push back at the press where they try to call us this online college.
What do you mean you're?
Well, there are a variety of methods. There are students that work with us through independent study, through learning credit, through prior learning assessment. What a lot of people don't understand, we have many students enrolled in other colleges and universities in New Jersey that want a classroom experience, taking courses to satisfy our degree requirements, and then they transfer them back to us. This nursing program, I mean, it's a great feeder, sort of a capstone for nurses that get their baccalaureate, their RNs at the community college system and then come on to finish it.
There's no one way.
There is no one way, and that's the key. The key is to provide a broad menu of high quality options so that the student can pick and choose and put together a learning strategy that makes sense for them.
So you don't like when they say, oh, Thomas Edison State College, oh, that's the online school.
Hate that.
It's just not true. It's
just not true. It tries to define who we are by what we do.
Put you in a box.
That's right.
Not true.
It's not true. It's important. It's one of our core competencies, but it's just one of them. It's one arrow in the quiver.
Dr. George Pruitt, President, Thomas Edison State College. The story is more expansive, more complicated than people think. And we'll continue to try to tell that story. George, we appreciate you coming on in. After 31 years, still got a lot of passion and energy because the job is just not the same.
That's true.
Thank you, George. All the best. We appreciate it. This is One on One. I'm Steve Adubato. We have fascinating people. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
One on One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating 25 years of broadcast excellence. Funding for this edition of One on One with Steve Adubato has been provided by Wells Fargo, Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, the New Jersey Education Association, New Jersey Council of County Colleges, New Jersey Manufacturers Insurance Group, PSE&G, and by Verizon Communications. Promotional support provided by the Star Ledger and NJ.com, and by the New Jersey Business and Industry Association. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine. One on One with Steve Adubato has been produced in partnership with St. Joseph's Healthcare System.